Welcome and thank you for gathering together for this time of reflection and prayer. Tonight, our devotional focuses on the spiritual virtue of enthusiasm, that inner fire of joy, eagerness, and wholehearted devotion that moves the soul toward action. In the Baha'i teachings, enthusiasm is not mere excitement, but a sacred force, a love for God that overflows into service, unity, and perseverance. It is the energy that sustains us in teaching the faith, serving humanity, and remaining steadfast through difficulty. As we listen to these passages from the Bahá'í Writings, may they rekindle within us a joyful ardor for life, for service, and for the divine purpose entrusted to each soul. Let your hearts burn with loving enthusiasm for all who may cross your path. Let your lives be so pure and radiant that the very sight of you will awaken souls from their slumber. Where there is love, enthusiasm is born, and where enthusiasm abides, the confirmations of God descend. Be not content with words alone, but arise with joy and courage to serve the cause of God. For sincere action is the truest expression of faith. Abdu'l-Bahá. Selections from the writings of Abdu'l-Bahá. The true believer is distinguished by warmth of heart and radiance of spirit. His enthusiasm is not fleeting, for it springs from certainty in God and confidence in His promises. Such a soul finds delight in sacrifice and joy in service, for he knows that every effort made in the path of God is recorded and will yield eternal fruit. Bahá'u'lláh. Gleanings from the writings of Bahá'u'lláh. Be happy and grateful, for happiness is a sign of a spiritual strength. When the heart is alive with faith, enthusiasm becomes a mighty power, drawing others toward light and hope. A joyful soul is a healing influence upon the world, for joy is born of trust in God and certainty in His mercy. Abdu'l-Bahá. Paris Talks. Arise with such enthusiasm that no trace of weariness may be found in you. Let not the magnitude of the task dishearten you, for the power that sustains you is divine. When enthusiasm is wedded to steadfastness, no obstacle can prevail against it. Shoghi Effendi. The Advent of Divine Justice. Blessed is the soul whose heart is enkindled with the fire of God's love, for from that fire springs zeal, perseverance, and joy. Such enthusiasm is a sign of life, and life itself is a trust bestowed by the All-Merciful to be spent in His path. Bahá'u'lláh. Tablets of Bahá'u'lláh. Do not be disheartened if your efforts seem small. Enthusiasm in service, even when unseen, releases spiritual forces beyond human measure. One sincere heart, aflame with love for God, can awaken 1,000 souls. Abdu'l-Bahá. Star of the West. Compiled Talks. The friends of God must be distinguished by joy and enthusiasm, for these are signs of detachment from the world and attachment to the kingdom. Gloom and apathy are not befitting those who have recognized the Sun of Truth. Abdu'l-Bahá. Selections from the writings of Abdu'l-Bahá. When enthusiasm is guided by wisdom and sustained by prayer, it becomes a steady flame rather than a passing spark. Such enthusiasm strengthens the community, deepens unity, and prepares the soul for continued service. Shoghi Effendi. Letters from the Guardian To the Baha'is of the West, let your enthusiasm for God's cause be like a river that never ceases to flow. Though it may pass through narrow places, it continues onward, bringing life wherever it goes. Bahá'u'lláh, Epistle to the Son of the Wolf. Serve with gladness. Let your enthusiasm be gentle, sincere, and enduring. When service is offered with joy, it becomes worship. And when worship is filled with joy, it draws the soul ever nearer to God. Abdu'l-Bahá, Promulgation of Universal Peace. Thank you, dear friends, for listening and reflecting together on the virtue of enthusiasm. May the words we have heard tonight ignite within us renewed joy, courage, and eagerness to serve. We now invite you to share any prayers, meditations, or reflections that may be on your heart. Let us continue to nurture this spirit of joyful devotion in the days ahead, and we look forward to gathering again next week for our next devotional